This is the breather tube that is fallen in here when I took it out. These just seem to break every time. You can't get them out. I was really careful to try and take it out whilst dropping the sump, but it just wouldn't come out, even with mole grips, and it just cracks and breaks. They must perish. Well, greetings there, repairers of Land Rovers and a great deal many other things, I'm sure. This is my lovely sump pan from my Range Rover Sport L494, just to make sure we're all in the picture. So this is what you get on top. There's this kind of pan thing, swage pan or something I think it's called, to stop the oil frothing up underneath the engine too much. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these little 8mm headed bolts that come out. So I've already obviously taken these out and loosened them up. So we're going to put those to one side and keep them safe. I've already done some inspection in here, and there is not really much evidence of metallic parts or particles. So I'll just take that off and let that drain off a bit more. And then what you get once you get into it is we've got, I think this thing is like a scavenge, like a vacuum scavenge or something. I'll put up the correct name on the thing. Here is the actual oil sensor, and I think it's also a temperature sensor. So that's there. And because of the nature of these engines, that I've got it apart, this is 10 years old, so I might as well replace this while I'm in there. It's got this wiring loom or wiring harness that comes up here, and then it comes out to a plug on the side. Now this plug is actually weeping oil, so it's really not going to hurt me to take this off and replace the bits inside. Also have a little more of an inspection. Like I said, I've not really found any big evidence of contamination in here, which is a good thing. And then the other thing is just obviously cleaning it off and making sure it's sort of smooth and ready to accept, you know, going back on with the gasket, just remove the traces of the old gasket to help it seal. Let's just look at this on the side. So this connector here on the side has just got another 8mm little connector on it, or bolt. We'll take that off. And one other thing to note, if you were doing normal oil changes, I have actually got a drain plug, so I'm probably going to just take that and replace this old one with that. It doesn't look like this has ever been undone, because it just looks new, and you know, not the corners aren't burred off as if it's been put back on badly by a Land Rover engineer. So I don't know if this has ever had the engine oil taken out by this method. Probably not, from it if it's been to Land Rover for all its services. Okay, that just pops out. I think it's just old. It's 10 years old. I'll take a picture of that. But there is oil in there, and there's oil on the connector there's oil on the external connector as well. So this has been leaking a bit, so it's not going to hurt to replace this. And that is one very, very flat rubber washer, so probably just worth doing it for the sake of sanity and making sure that as you rebuild everything, you put everything back new. Right, here we go. And you just put a bit of engine oil on it just to lube it up as you tighten it up. I've got a bit of a problem going on as well at the moment, because there's a tree outside that distributes these fluffy things everywhere, and it's a bit like having a giant load of dandelions all the time. So if you see anything flying past, it's to do with that. Rest assured I'll make sure none of it goes in, but it is blinking annoying. Right, so we've got this out there. There's a cable tie here we need to cut. Oh, that's really brittle. It's broken into little bits, which is very unhelpful, but that's off of there. And then if you reach down in, it's just got 2 tabs on the side, and then it will let you pop that off. In fact, What might be even better is to undo it and get it out. None of these should be very tight. Again, we're on to 8 mils. There you go. I'm going to keep these bolts together to go with this. He said, not knowing where to put them. Somewhere that way. So that's the actual sensor. It's a genuine Ford one, but apparently they are all made by Hella. And then just pull that apart. Ugh, it's really greasy, nasty. So I'll put that out the way, and then this just comes out as a one-piece thing. And then the other thing I wanted to look at is the oil pickup pipe, because I want to make sure there's a like a mesh in here, make sure this isn't clogged up with lots of bits of metal, which I'm hoping it's not, but it might be. So this has just got 2 bolts on it, one at the bottom and one at the top as far as I can see. Fast forward, this is a little bit tricky. There is a washer on this, which of course I haven't got, but it's still pretty tight, so I think we'll be okay putting that back on. And it's one of the green ones. I might have something in my supplies that will fit on there, but we shall see. I've had a little look down here. I did flush it with a tiny bit of brake cleaner, and like 1 flake of metal has come out of it, so it's not clogged up. You can see clearly through the mesh. If you shine a light in from that side, there's no kind of major obstructions in it, and you shine a light in from that side and look, it looks all right. So that seems to be okay. I'm just gonna clean that up and put it somewhere safe and wash it out. Just make sure that's ready to go back on. The flushing out the oil pickup, this is dirty because of the container I put it in, but there are some more flecks there, so that's worth getting out. Well, sometimes I find it's better to go back to hands, because I can feel on my hands if there's grit easier than if I've got gloves on. So obviously don't want to put this back in with any grit stuck in it, so kind of wiped everything off. And I've just got some clean oil, just going to wipe on this just so I can reinstall it. I must take that off first. And then, because you've got the oil drain plug on the side, because you've got the oil drain pipe, it sits lower than the actual sump plug. So I'm just going to wash it out with a bit more brake cleaner, just so that it's ready to be put back together. There's a tiny amount of glitter in the bottom there, hence why I got this nice clean one. Okay, once you've got everything as clean as you can, it's pretty difficult, to be honest, because of the issues with, you know, getting this going in a sterile workshop. I mean, ideally you'd want this all apart and all blasted out and steam cleaned or whatever, and it would just come out all nice and clean on the outside as well. But I don't live in that ideal world, so I'm going to have to make do with it. Just to reiterate, the reason I don't take this off is because when I took off the oil, like the turbo pickup pipe, there was no shavings in that. There's a filter on the end of it, and I'll put a picture up of that. And there was no blockage or contamination on the oil pickup. Right, I'm just going to put this back in. I've smeared the gasket thing with some fresh oil, so it should go back in nice and easily. Just going to lower it in and wiggle it on. Hopefully it will go without too much fuss. Nice and tight. And then we've got two little bolts to put back on. So what I've gone and got myself is a Hella Land Rover oil sensor, which basically is exactly the same but without Ford written on it. And these are, if you look at a genuine one, it's just It's exactly the same. It's just got Ford written on it, so rather than Hella. And these are cheaper. I've got my wiring loom. Just thread back. This is a genuine Land Rover one, so hopefully this will be nice and leak free for a bit. Feed that through the hole. I'm going to get some oil again. Connector goes through there. Just going to work all this in. It's quite stiff. I'll just move that out of the way. Oh well. If in doubt, whack it with a hammer or a mallet and a piece of wood. Right. It's back to normal now. Okay, so got our connector, got our sensor. Now the different thing I've got this time is I have got the upgraded bracket. Now this is something that didn't exist originally, and it was because some of the in the factory, when they installed some of the sensors, they didn't install the wiring connector properly, and this just mitigates against it ever coming out. And of course this is right in the sump, so you don't want this failing without really, you know, good reason. So there you go, that's that. And so that's going to go on top. So that wasn't an original thing that the Land Rover fitted. So we've got our connector, so I'm going to plug it back in up here, make sure it clicks, so you can hear it click. So I think that's what they didn't do in the factory, they didn't make sure it clicked before they put it on. And then lower this down into the sump, get it in position. I assume it can only go one way. And then a little bracket to go over the top, which then clips over the back of the wiring connector, as we saw, and then it means that everything's should be nice and secure and unable to push itself out accidentally. There, put that on there. You can actually even see that the later sensor has got these indentations on it for that to be fitted, so that's quite interesting. So this, you may have had to buy a newer sensor anyway, but I suppose if you're in there, no, the original one's got them. So it's just that Land Rover being incompetent. What a surprise. Got my specific bolts for that. So let's get these little bolts on. Oh, it's all a bit awkward. Probably just put these in. So these are 10 Newton meters again. So all of these just low torque bolts. And because it's aluminium, they're kind of slightly interferencey fit things. Here's to pop this into its little connector or mounting point. There you go. We're all installed nicely. And that's going to live a very hard life down there. Just going to do our 10mm torque. And just do our torque. Okay, a note on this breather pipe thing. This was stuck in here, I think. This, no matter what I did when I lowered the sump, this would not pop out. It has just got a normal washer on it, but it was just at that point where, so I had to break it. And I think if you're dropping the sump, it's always going to break. I think if you're removing the sump from the engine upside down, the pipe will just withdraw as you pull the sump out, but that wasn't going to happen. And I didn't have enough room to drop it down, but I was kind of in a tight space, and I was just like, I was thinking I'm going to have to sacrifice this anyway, so I did. Now I ordered a replacement, and just to say, this is a genuine Land Rover one, and they genuine ones had yeah, FOMOCO written on them, but they accidentally sent me a non-genuine one. Now I'm sure it's fine, I'm just being fussy because this is the Sump, where once you've sealed it all up, you want everything that's in there to sort of work for you, and not cause a problem, because you don't want to be taking the Sump off again. So this won't go back until we're back sort of putting things into the engine, but there is a notch in this. It's got a particular shape, and there's a bit in the block where you push this in. Right, we just pop this fella back on. This is the something like a swage pan or something. Anyway, it only goes one way. There's a big circle, or there's a cutout here. I mean, you wouldn't be able to put it on the wrong way anyway because of the orientation of the bolts, but the oil sensor pokes through there. And then we just got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of bolts that go back on it, which are hiding in here. Right, we're all ready now. I'm going to cover this over with something so nothing nasty falls into it like a spider. And then I'm going to go and get on underneath of the car and clean up the Sump underneath.